Get set to learn the fascinating ins and outs of building a home from the ground up. Hi, I'm Stephen Lichter from J. Paul Builders, and I'll be leading and walking you through this behind-the-scenes look at constructing the modern home dream. Watching this is sure to give you an appreciation for the complex engineering feats and architecture that go into these masterpieces. From inviting entryways and tranquil living spaces, down to the minute details like paint finishes and even hidden features. See what goes on during a custom home build. Be prepared to be amazed as you join us in Behind the Build. Located in the Falls Road corridor in Baltimore County, this modern and contemporary home built in 2020 has 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and is over 6,500 square feet. We're going to take you on a tour through the home and share some special features that were custom designed by the homeowner himself. Stick around until the end to hear how J. Paul can help you bring your dreams to reality in just 5 simple steps. So we like to think of every house as a little story. It's got a beginning, it's got a middle, and it's got an end. The beginning of the story is all about planning and design, and making sure the details are right up front so that we know what we're getting ourselves into, and you as the customer will know what you're getting yourself into as the job starts and progresses in terms of budgets, selections, timelines, and everything that fall under those umbrellas. The middle of the story is the actual construction and the execution. And if everything's done right in the planning process up front, the construction, the execution should flow without any hiccups. And then the final part of the story is the end. It's the move-in and then the continued relationship. By the time J. Paul leaves these jobs, we like to think that we've formed a life-lasting relationship with our homeowners. And just because you move in doesn't mean it's the end of our relationship or the end of the story. It's just another phase. And we're there for our customers from move-in to beyond. Some jobs have designers brought in from outsourced, some have architects that are outsourced. This job was definitely particular and specific, where the homeowner decided to play designer himself, which turned out excellent, as you can see behind me. Our homeowner in this case was very world traveled and brought all his world travel experiences, again, as you can kind of see behind me, his world artwork and his world statues, and designed the house with his unique international flavor in mind. This house is we would call it an uber contemporary. Straight, clean lines, very tight reveals, minimal molding. So everything's got to be crisp and perfect because you can see everything. There's nowhere to hide anything. We're in a good place. Right behind me, you can see, we call it a floating staircase. Open-ended stairs supported by 2 stringers that are below the treads. Thickened 4-inch treads, definitely an awesome architectural feature. Cable railing incorporated, which is featured inside and outside the house. We have wide plank hardwood flooring throughout the entire first floor. All the trim details are flush trim details of the base reveal. So the base molding sits flush with the drywall. It's a very clean, streamlined concept. Beyond that, all the recessed lighting in the house are mud and recessed. There's no trims or flanges. Everything is drywalled right up to the fixture. There's a wine room in the basement, climate-controlled wine room in the basement. There's a whole house automation system, which is really cool. You go up to a light switch instead of having a box of 4 or 5 switches. You have a keypad which controls scenes. So pretty cool detail for the house. And then the outside of the house is incredibly architectural. It's built in a box-like fashion, and there's all these reveals created in the stucco boxes that delineate large portions of the facade. And back to where we were before with the windows, there's very high-end window package, a very high-end architectural window package with no moldings either. So it's all drywall returns going into these high-end architectural windows, and it's all these layers of architectural features and details and design features that when you put them all together, you get this contemporary masterpiece. These specific windows came out of Germany, and the reason we went with them was a couple of different features they had. One was just the sheer size of the windows. Some of these windows are 10 feet tall by 10 feet wide, massive pieces of glass. So one was sizing. We had to outsource these windows out of the country just to get the sizes the homeowner was looking for. That's one. 2 is these windows come with a really special UV protectant. In the room I'm sitting in, there's a very sentimental Persian rug below me, and the homeowner was very concerned that the rays from the windows would torture the rug over time. But with the UV feature these windows came with, the light's filtered and the rug can stay intact. And then another feature is security. These windows are, I think they're triple pane glass. So, you can't just come in and break into this house. It's very, very secure. So all these features combined, there's only so many windows that can accommodate that, and these Unilux German windows happen to fit the bill. So going along with the theme of the house, everything is clean, everything is concise, everything is clean cut. The kitchen in this house is a totally custom kitchen, flat slab, so there's no trim, no panels, no moldings. They're all flat slab cabinetry, and they're all full overlay. So it's very nice and tight. The reveals are very minimal. And then some cool features in this kitchen is all the upper cabinetry is touch latch. So you go up to and it's electronic. So you go up to a cabinet, you push your finger up against it, and then zzz, cabinet goes up, and on the way back down, you push a button that's in the cabinet and it goes right back down. It's a very cool feature. Another feature in this kitchen, which is awesome, is a hidden pantry. So behind what looks like a normal cabinet door, you open it up and you walk into about a 5 foot by 7 foot pantry that you would have no idea that's there, if you were just walking through the house. So taking these, again, like everything else we do, it's layers of detail. And these layers of detail, when you put them all together, turn out for these remarkable end results. A lot of European influence comes in when you start talking about spa-like bathrooms, and these bathrooms fit that mold. So for the master bathroom, like the rest of them, floor-to-ceiling tile. The master is Italian porcelain, which looks excellent, and it incorporates a fully controlled steam room with its own steam system, its own special room. And then all of the bathrooms have floating vanities. They all have fully frameless shower glass panels. You walk into each one of these bathrooms and you truly feel like you're in a spa. Our homeowner was looking to hit these specific details in each space. Every house brings its own challenges. When you get into the uber contemporaries, the challenges, they smack you right away. The framing has to be perfect because there's nowhere for a wall to be out. There's nowhere for a piece of molding to hide an imperfection. There's no there is no molding in here. So you got to start thinking about your challenges really early on in the construction phase. There's no room for error really at the beginning. And when you get experience with this type of construction, you learn that you got to face an obstacle at every phase. So we check our framing, we check our floor thicknesses, we check everything, that we over-engineer our stuff to make sure that there's no negative ramifications when you get down the road. In this specific project, it's interesting. I'm sitting in a room that has one massive ceiling from the front door through the second floor into the second floor suites. And what we ran into was that it was just too much sheer drywall. And we were worried about drywall cracking. So what we did is we put an architectural control joint through the ceiling, and it looks intentional. We got the blessing of the team, we got the homeowner involved, we got the architect involved, and we said, hey, this ceiling is just too much to be clean drywall. We're worried about cracking over time. And as a team, which is everything we do is team-based, we figured out a solution that actually looked intentional and kept moving and kept a happy homeowner along down the road. Not every day do I get to build a house, an uber contemporary, where the homeowner gets to play designer or wants to be the designer. With that said, he was involved in every process. We encourage our homeowners to be involved in the day-to-day operation of the job. We encourage them to be on site. We encourage them to check us, checking them, check us, back to our whole team approach. But when you have the homeowner who's actually wearing two hats, this homeowner and designer, it was really interesting. It did provide challenges because they're not used to being a designer, but we worked through them as we work through any challenge. And the most memorable part is forming the relationship with the homeowner and the continued relationship I have now. Every house is a little different. Every house has their interesting features, but the piece I take away from this house the most is the relationship we forged with the homeowner, and the double thumbs up he continues to give me 2-3 years down the road.